Mame fa na asema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
There are two options for the government because she didn't want to commit to one because her decision or her advice wasn't binding. So it was up to the sector minister to make that decision that, you know what, even though the Attorney General has advised that we could go ahead and cancel, me as a sector minister, I believe we should bring these people back to the renegotiation table and renegotiate this. But Boakye Jaku did not do that. And then when Godfred came, he did not also look at the other alternatives or options because Gabi and Akuffo brought him to cover up their crimes. In this Gloria Akuffo response to Ejaku Tamana officer, Ejaku Trokoman say he's not comfortable with that cancellation of contract now. This is what Gloria Akuffo said, and I'm going to read that part to you. A letter dated 12 April 2018, Mr. Boakye Jaku wrote to the then Attorney General, Madam Gloria Akuffo, said, and I quote, "As you are aware, the Ministry of Energy, by a letter dated 13 February 2018, terminated the emergency power agreement between the government of Ghana and the GPGC Limited, dated June 3, 2015. This follows cabinet approval of the recommendation of the Power Purchasing Agreement Review Committee as reviewed by the Attorney General's office." Now, this is what he said, and I quote, "In its response dated 26 February 2018, GPGC rejected the basis for our termination and insisted that the government of Ghana continues to fulfill its obligation under the EPA. Even after we cancel deal, no, the company was saying, say, your basis for cancelling the deal is not right. So it was an opportunity for the government and the ministry to call the people back to the table and say, then let's renegotiate. So there was an option to renegotiate. Now, when you go further, it says this. It appears from their letter that GPGC has continued with the development of the project. Now, me read Gloria Akuffo response. And I quote, "After careful consideration, the ministry is contemplating the deferment of the project rather than its termination because it appears the termination of the EPA may prove costly to the government of Ghana than was originally anticipated." It was Jaku say, the ministry who said no, say a canceller a bad problem. You ever tabon to so na yan hwese betumi o maka na bibia akoye se de be ya Ghana for yendeka. And then I'll catch Gloria Akuffo. Into I don't know catch Gloria Akuffo say, "Memma ne endorse this. Memma ne my advice say yen cancel." Now you go ahead. This is what Boakye Jaku says. It is expected that the GPGC will be called back to the negotiation table to discuss the terms of the deferment, and in no process attempts will be made to obtain terms other than those currently contained in the EPC. There was an option to call the people back. Why didn't he take the decision? Why didn't he go ahead as a minister, go to parliament to say, I am against this? Why didn't he communicate this to Ghanaians? He kept it to himself. Now, Utie Gloria Akuffo, the Attorney General's response, Attorney General knew Akuffo was pressurizing her to do this. Now, she didn't want to commit to anything. Even in her advice, she still gave Boakye Jaku, the government, cabinet, an option they could have taken. Now, Muntie Gloria Akuffo response, no, because she did not stay at one place. In her response, she created windows that government of Ghana can take to save us from incurring this $140 million cost. So this is what Gloria Akuffo said to Ejaku. Now, when you read Gloria's response, it says, in a response to this letter was another letter dated 11 June 2018 and cited by Madam Gloria Akuffo. This is what the Attorney General said. It said, and reference is made to your letter numbered ZA blah 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 10 dated 12 April 2018, requesting the advice of the Attorney General on the ministry decision to negotiate for the deferment and for better terms of the above mentioned emergency power agreement. And I quote, "We are of the opinion that the agreement, having been abrogated, cannot be negotiated for improved terms as it is no longer in existence." Gloria Akuffo said, from the Omo, this agreement cannot be renegotiated. Or say, it looked more like, say, the cabinet and the committee had already made a decision. Now, the committee doesn't have more power than the minister or the ministry. Can't the minister take a decision and tell the president that I do not agree to this? Can the minister find it's his way to Parliament to say this particular thing the cabinet is pushing through, I don't agree because in the future we are going to incur costs? Gloria Akuffo say, we are of the opinion that the agreement having been abrogated cannot be negotiated for improved terms as it's no longer in existence. The parties may, however, tie Gloria Akuffo asabo we create a window amamo. Wakachira will say, even though the president is forcing this to happen, she knows a lot. She knows Gabi is doing this. She knows Akuffo is doing this. But because she wanted to save us, or say, we are of the opinion that, or say, the parties may, however, negotiate another agreement which must be submitted to Parliament or to Cabinet for approval. You may revert to us if you require any further clarification. Gloria Akuffo Jaco say, even though the contract has been cancelled now, there's still another option. You people can call the party or the company back to the table, renegotiate, take it back to cabinet. Cabinet can sign, take it to Parliament for it to be sanctioned. So Gloria Akuffo said, this is not a dead end. There is still an option to move forward. So take that option as the minister. What can you do? You need to do something. And Intinoka say, take this option. When you take this option, I am still here to give you advice on what to do. Because as we speak, the contract has been cancelled. And as an attorney general, I can advise. And what I'm seeing, it's fine. But you still have another option. You can do what? Bring the people back to the table, renegotiate the thing, and then make sure cabinet signs it, and then come to me for advice, and then Parliament will move it. So why didn't Ejaku take that decision? Even though he knew Gabi was doing this, Akuffo had set up a small screen cabinet committee. He knew they were committing a crime, but he kept quiet. Even after he was fired, he was still quiet. Inti, when you study the whole thing, nipa waye ya bro buache Jaku. Now, when Gloria Akuffo resigned because of all this, Godfred when he came into office, what was he supposed to do? Say Godfred was working in our favor. He could have also taken that option because when Gloria Akuffo was writing, Godfred was Gloria Akuffo's deputy. So he knew about this. He knew that if I'm given the opportunity, I need to correct this. Whoever is the minister, I can talk to the minister and say, you can still renegotiate this. But Godfred kept quiet. He ignored it. Even when the people went to court in the UK, he did not go. He was complaining and he was giving an excuse to say, COVID-19 about to me in court. Because he knew Gabi assigned a contract behind the scenes with some of the companies. He knew Akuffo was the mastermind of that committee or contract Gabi was signing, and he's working for them. So he kept quiet. He made sure the people will win the case. Gabi will not be exposed. Akuffo will not be exposed. So this is an inside job. Now you understand it. 140 million way, they have a share in it. I'm telling you. Akuffo, Gabi, Attorney General Godfred, they have a share in this money. And they still have been able to take money from us because the 26 companies, behind the scenes, who is Gabi Ochedakun to be signing contracts in the name of Ghana? That is the question. At least the sector minister has come out to tell us Gabi Freno. He has a document to prove Gabi was signing contract. Who the hell is this fool to be signing contract in our name? Today we have incurred $140 million. Who is going to pay? Enemy. This is the time to understand. NPP, when they come in the form of a dog, when they come in the form of a pig, when they come in the form of an elephant, anything that has got to do with NPP, irrespective of Nipa or Diomenim, never vote for them. They need to face the law. They are thieves. Jimmy. This is a national service. Ghana Nibia, if you vote for NPP, now baby count. We need to let these people understand. I'll see a Dioma bro by voting against them and dragging them in the mud. This is not a joke. Into $140 million, mankesim dwom wa wote kotokraba wa wote eye narelugu mo wote savlugu mo wote eye northern way. We are the ones going to pay. These fools have made money out of us and they have incurred a cost that we will be taking care of. Why should we endure this? What kind of foolishness is this? We need to make something happen. The NPP is bad news. They are a disease of a political party. They are made up of criminals, killers, murderers. They came to destroy, steal, and kill us. It's about time we, the people, rose up and fought these people through the ballot. NPP is bad news. And this is my message to Ghanaians. You're still watching. With all due respect, extended version. After this short break, I'll be back to pick calls quickly.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.